It is that unfortunate, tragic season once again. Massive wildfires, dozens of them simultaneously are racing across different portions of the United States. I want to focus on one today. It is a devastating one, the Bootleg Fire in Oregon. It started in early July and still only 25% contained. Weeks later, has now charred an area the size of Los Angeles, destroying at least 67 homes and 100 buildings. It's the largest wildfire currently burning in the US. I don't know exactly today how many there are. At one point, there were 70 simultaneously. It's possible that number has varied day by day. It's over 200 miles long, larger than New York City, almost twice the size of Portland. It's just a thing that we do as a society that, like, the extreme weather events and the damage that climate change is doing is so epic that we have to compare all of it to states and stuff. Like when something breaks off of Antarctica, it's always the size of like Rhode Island. You notice that? The wildfires are always the size of New York City, but unfortunately they're also becoming more common. And it's been burning for 2 weeks. Most of that time it's exhibited one or more forms of extreme fire behavior, leading to rapid changes in winds and other conditions that have caused flames to spread rapidly in the forest canopy. Basically what they're saying is that rather than weather influencing the fires, this fire is so bad that it is now itself influencing weather, which is poetic, but also pretty scary, David.
Yeah, and I've got a message for everybody in the mainstream media, because I know how these newsrooms work, the evening newscasts and whatnot. They love this story because the pictures are gripping, right? When you see flames and we see aircraft coming in and trying to drop on water and firefighters are trying to battle the fires, it is a remarkable story. You can't help but stop and watch. Wow, look at that. But rarely do you actually hear the mainstream media say, okay, but what's causing this? What is the larger issue about climate change? And to me, that's where we are. We're gonna see these pictures now on a regular basis every summer for months at a time. So fine, the networks, you're gonna get your incredible catnip to your audience, but spend a little bit of time trying to explain to people why this is happening. Use your platform to educate people about the damage this is being caused because of climate change. And so, for everybody who's watching the evening news tonight, pay very close attention. Watch the newscasts that are actually going to talk about the underlying issues. Don't just watch because the pictures are remarkable.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. What a waste of, waste of a possible dark lining to this story. Really fast, I want to give you an idea of how devastating this is by maybe cluing you into some phenomena that I had not been familiar with, including that smoke and heat from the fire have created fire clouds that can be seen from more than 100 miles away. Numerous slop fires have jumped fire lines, with one growing to about 4 miles in size as of Monday afternoon. This is what it looks like when, after weeks, a fire is only a quarter contained. There have also been reports of fire whirls, small spinning vortexes of air and flames that are common in many wildfires and are often inaccurately described as fire tornadoes. Fire whirls are small, perhaps a few dozen feet in diameter at their largest, and last for a few seconds to a few minutes, but they exist. We have effectively firenadoes. Yeah, hey everybody, don't worry about that. It's smaller than you might think. Yes, but it's also devastating. And it's also making me, as a prospective fantasy author, feel like, how am I supposed to come up with anything more devastating and impossible than what climate change is producing here on Earth? And then of course, during all of this, we have extreme heat as well. Record temperatures in Oregon were broken by as much as 9 degrees. That's not how records are supposed to work. It's supposed to be incremental. You're not supposed to be punched in the face with a new record, but unfortunately so far, we are. Any final thoughts on this?
Look, it's all related, to what we're seeing in Europe right now. I know we don't, a lot of Americans don't like to think about other places and across the pond, but Europe is seeing, once every 200-year floods. Well, it's because climate change is making everything more extreme. Winters are more extreme. They're colder than ever. They're wetter than ever. Summers are hotter and drier than ever. And so our planet is screaming out, saying enough already. And how many people, how many homes have to be destroyed? How many people have to lose their lives in floods and fires before everyone's gonna say, oh, well, this is not just something to entertain us because the pictures are remarkable. Maybe there's something we can actually do about it.
Yeah. My guess would be once they've extracted as much money out of the status quo as they can. But yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned the flooding. People in the chat are talking about it too. At least 170 deaths in Germany. Absolutely devastating. And yeah, it's not just gonna be fires, it's also going to be flooding. And I don't know if you saw, we also have to contend with the moon wobble. David, had you seen that?
Oh yeah, the moon wobble is going to change things, and look, hurricane season is coming up. This could be another devastating hurricane season. Well, who's going to pay for the damage repairs along the Gulf Coast when we have another major city, whether it's New Orleans or Houston or Galveston or whatever it is, that gets flattened by a hurricane? I mean,
exactly.
At a certain point, there's a cost to all of this.
Yeah, and it might start, if you live there, if you own property there, it might start to get to you. So you should follow Ben Shapiro's advice and just sell your home to someone who's apparently gonna move there amidst all of this. Intellectual gladiator, that's what I say. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.